Leadership is the single most important element determining your company's success. People are important. Machines and materials are necessary. But the thing that brings everything to life and guides your company to a new future are your leaders. Developing leaders, according to many polls and top-ranking CEOs, is the ongoing #1 need and priority. Yet, how you develop leaders, what tools you give them, what skills you focus on, and the way in which leaders acquire those tools and skills matters. Entelechy has been developing leaders since 1992, training hundreds of thousands of leaders across the world with customized programs based on our award-winning face-to-face leadership development program, Unleash Your Leadership Potential, or UYLP. And our affiliate in China, First Priority, has helped bring this same amazing program to thousands of leaders throughout China. The same models, instructional activities, and application focus are built into UYLP-Virtual, a completely virtual leadership development program created for today's leaders and today's environment. UYLP-Virtual is an entirely virtual leadership development journey that includes preparation, back-to-back virtual sessions introducing critical leadership models and content, 45 to 60 days of guided practice, preparation for Virtual 3, and Virtual 3 itself, where participants share their successes, practice their skills, and plan their ongoing leadership development. UYLP Virtual includes ongoing activities to ensure leadership skills stick and leadership behavior changes. To ensure organizational adoption, UYLP Virtual includes an executive track, so executives can model and reinforce key leadership skills. And if your organization wants to own the program and deliver it yourself, we provide a program implementation guide and support services to truly make UYLP Virtual your organization's leadership development program. So what makes for a world-class, engaging, behavior-changing, culture-impacting leadership development program? In our 28 years of creating leadership programs for organizations across the world, we've found 3 critical components: sticky models, engagement by design, and a focus on application. Let's briefly examine each. Foundational to a leader's job is supporting the performance of their people. UYLP's Analyzing Performance model helps leaders address the 6 elements required for performance, but does so in a simple, effective, prescriptive manner. People don't perform for 2 main reasons: they can't or they won't. They lack the capability or they lack the willingness. Think about someone who isn't performing. Is it because they can't do it, or is it because they won't do it? If you've determined that they can't do it, let's dive deeper. One of the primary reasons a person can't perform or perform a certain way is because they didn't know they were supposed to do that thing, or do it a certain way, or by a certain time, or involving certain people. Expectations aren't clear, or if they were once clear, they're no longer clear because no feedback has been given. Another reason why a person can't perform is because they don't have the tools, resources, including time, or information that they need. As leaders, it's our job to ensure that people have what they need to perform. A third reason why a person can't perform is because they don't have the skills or knowledge. Before we get to the won't side, let's pause. You can see the power of the Analyzing Performance model in not only identifying the cause of underperformance, but the solution. If someone isn't performing because of unclear expectations, what do you as a leader do? That's right, clarify expectations. If the person can't perform because they don't have the skills, what do you as a leader do? That's right, train them. UYLP's models are effective because they're prescriptive. They tell you as a leader what to do. Let's move to the willingness side. What if you've determined that the reason a person isn't performing is because they won't? They could perform if they wanted, and you may have seen them perform before, but now they're unwilling. They could be unwilling because of motivation or consequences. It's our job as leaders to know what motivates our employees and tap into that motivation. Whether it's contributing to a bigger goal, doing it for the team, persevering, or learning a difficult skill, an effective leader knows how to motivate and how to apply consequences, both positive consequences as well as negative consequences, to hold employees accountable. A second reason people aren't willing to perform or perform in a certain way is because they think their way is better. Especially in these ever-changing work environments, how we do something is often as important as what we do. A third reason people aren't willing to perform is because of priorities. Other things are simply more important. It's our job as leaders to help reset priorities so the employee is able to contribute in the most meaningful way. UYLP-Virtual's Analyzing Performance model provides leaders with a tool to not only analyze the performance of their people, but also to target the element that may be causing the non-performance. Used proactively, the Analyzing Performance model becomes the template for assigning work. Make sure to set clear expectations, provide the tools, resources, and information, and so forth. The Analyzing Performance model is not only part of UYLP-Virtual, it's also available as a free mobile app for Apple and Android devices, and won the Best Use of Technology in Leadership Development from the International Society of Performance Improvement. As we saw, setting clear expectations and providing feedback are critical to performance, which is why we spend time in UYLP-Virtual on delivering powerful feedback. As with all the models in UYLP-Virtual, the feedback model is simple, prescriptive, and powerful. The model outlines the 4 major elements of feedback: context, when and where it happened; action, what the person did or said; impact, the impact of those actions or words; and request or reinforce. Do this in the future, or keep doing the good thing you did. For example, in this morning's meeting, when you slammed your notebook on the table, you effectively shut off conversation. I know that wasn't your intention. To be more effective in future meetings, if you get upset, you may want to either calm yourself before responding or talk to me after the meeting to share your concerns. However, our model goes further and addresses the primary reason feedback is often greeted with defensiveness or anger. The UYLP-Virtual model focuses on the future and on positive actions. We use power phrases such as, to make it more effective the next time, you may want to. We can't change the past, so why provide feedback on it? Instead, let's use the opportunity to provide options for the future. Feedback is also more effective when it's optional, which results in greater buy-in. Now that's powerful. Every leader's dream is to have employees who are able to self-assess and course-correct on an ongoing basis, what's known as a growth mindset. UYLP-Virtual's coaching conversation model not only helps employees improve performance, but it engages employees in self-development and growth. Entelechy's coaching model is, like all Entelechy models, simple and effective. Because it's prescriptive, it gives leaders the questions to ask and the words to say. Face it, we all know that effective coaches listen, empathize, problem solve, and reflect what they hear. You know this already, so why bother learning something you already know? If everyone knows these things, why are there so few leader coaches? It's because they don't know the specific questions that help employees self-assess and problem solve. Entelechy's coaching conversation model is prescriptive. It gives leaders the questions to ask and the process to follow. Because coaching is conversation, it has an opening and a closing. At the heart of the model are 3 questions. The first question comes right at the beginning of the coaching conversation. It's a focused performance probe that steers the conversation to the skill the employee is working on. An example of the focused performance probe could be, I know that since we last got together 2 weeks ago, you've been working on more efficiently troubleshooting with customers who call in. How's that been going? The second of the 3 questions focuses on what the employee has been doing well regarding the troubleshooting. The coach may ask, sounds great. What's one thing that has gone well? We want the employee to recognize and build upon behaviors that are working. We ask the question twice to force the employee to dig a little deeper, to really reflect on their behaviors. What else went well? Whenever the employee accurately self-assesses, we want to support and build on that self-assessment, since the ability to self-assess is a critical, powerful employee skill. If when we asked for a did well regarding troubleshooting, the employee replies, I spend a little extra time up front to clarify the problem. That helps me stay on track as we troubleshoot. My support and build may sound like, I agree, and it shows the customer that you're listening and focused on their needs. The third question focuses on do differentlys. Over the past 2 weeks, as you've been trying to increase your efficiency in troubleshooting, what might you have done differently to be even more efficient? Like the did wells, we support and build when the employee accurately self-assesses. And like the did wells, we ask the question twice to get the employee to dig deeper in their self-assessment. Notice that there's a specific order to the questions, with the confidence-building did well questions up front. With the do differentlys at the end of our conversation, the actions the employee identifies become the things they will work on over the coming period until the next coaching session. What makes the UYLP coaching conversation model so effective is that the bulk of the work falls on the employee to prepare and to self-assess. The leader simply follows the model and asks the 3 questions. As simple as it is, this coaching model and process has literally changed leaders' lives. How they work with their employees, how they communicate with them, and how they show up as a collaborative leader. The third performance conversation model UYLP-Virtual leaders learn is the difficult conversations model. Sometimes an employee may not be performing or behaving as they should. The individual's performance is suffering, as is team performance suffering and team morale. Like the other models in UYLP-Virtual, difficult conversations is prescriptive. We tell you what to say and what to focus on that will have the greatest likelihood of changing employee behavior in a positive way. Planning is critical, and the difficult conversations model helps leaders prepare. And we teach leaders to focus on the one thing that is virtually guaranteed to change behavior: impact. Most employees don't know the full impact of their behavior or performance on themselves, the team, the customer, on you, and even the company. Of course, difficult conversations are, well, difficult. And we help leaders practice their skills using these models so they're competent and confident in using their new skills. We all know that it's easier to manage and lead when you've built positive relationships with your employees and are able to connect with them professionally and personally. UYLP-Virtual uses the powerful DISC management assessment to help leaders not only determine their style and communication preferences, but also determine the styles of their team members, colleagues, and stakeholders. Leaders who are able to flex their style get more from their team members and others. As you can see, sticky models help leaders easily learn and immediately apply new skills. That's critical in any leadership development program. Equally important is how learners actually learn the new skills. A virtual leadership program has to be engaging. UYLP-Virtual was created from Entelechy's award-winning program, a blended program with face-to-face training. However, when we created the all-virtual version, we began from the ground up to create the most powerful virtual leadership development program possible. UYLP-Virtual includes extensive use of tools designed to engage the learner, including chat, polls, drag and drop, multiple chat pods, instructional videos, breakout rooms, quizzes, and an engagement dashboard that displays the engagement of the class and each participant, monitored by master facilitators who not only have decades of leadership experience themselves, but know how to bring leadership development to life on the virtual platform, and many other tools to drive engagement and learning. And engagement is one thing that differentiates Entelechy's UYLP-Virtual program from all other leadership development programs. The other key is application focus. Leaders learn by doing, by practicing their skills and receiving feedback. And those skills are cemented when leaders apply what they learn to real life with real people and real challenges. Let's look at the skill of coaching, for example. Leaders have 6 chances to apply what they've learned, to practice and get feedback about coaching. They apply their skills in the pre-work e-learning, the Coach the Expert class activity, the 2 coaching role plays where coaching is used 4 times, the difficult conversation role play, which includes a coaching opportunity, and again in the coaching reinforcer e-learning. Perhaps the most powerful form of application comes on the job. Leaders plan their coaching sessions in their Management Action Plan, or MAP, as part of their second session, and then spend 45 to 60 days actually coaching, recording their successes and challenges. When they return in session 3, they report on their successes and challenges. And who better to judge the impact of these critical leadership skills than the leader's employees and manager? UYLP's optional 360-degree leadership assessment enables each leader to identify leadership strengths and opportunities for development, providing for continuous growth. Sticky models, engagement by design, and application focus. That's what makes UYLP-Virtual better than any other virtual leadership development program on the planet today. Don't take our word for it. Entelechy's Unleash Your Leadership Potential program has won awards from Chief Learning Officer, International Society of Performance Improvement, and Brandon Hall. Whether you're looking for a completely virtual program, our traditional program, or a social learning experience, Entelechy's Unleash Your Leadership Potential program helps you develop the most valuable part of your business, your future, your leaders. With Entelechy's global facilitation network and through our affiliates, Unleash Your Leadership Potential Virtual is available now. Contact us today. Change your leaders forever.